Well, hello Internet, this is the coding teacher and I'm here to teach you how to code. So let's pick up where we left off last time. We're going to go ahead and make this save to the database. But first, let's make sure that the request body actually shows up to the server console when I send a request. So in order to send a request by using the fetch API, we would go like this. We have method post, right? And we have body. We need to stringify an object, and it's usually advisable to include the headers and specify which type of content you're sending. And then this whole thing is a promise, so you can change it to a then call. And the server response will be a promise too. So we can, when we receive the response, we can execute this function that takes the response and executes the JSON method of the response to get the JSON out of the response, and that's also a promise, so then we can chain it to the then. When we have data, then we just log in the data. So right here we're still getting our hello world reply, but we're going to go to the server console and note that we did indeed receive the request body that we had sent in here. So now that we're sure that that's working, we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to say instead, if for some reason there isn't a request body, or there isn't, let's just make sure that that any employer that you want to create at least has a name. So if there isn't a request body, or if the body doesn't have a name, we're just going to return and we're going to send back. I forget the error code. It's like, let's look it up real quick. HTTP codes. And of course, my router decided to disconnect right now. So for now, I'm just going to say 400. Sorry, this is a status. Send. Sending name. Okay, now when we make it here, it means that our request body at least has a name. So let's go ahead and create a new instance of this employer model. And we're going to pass it the data that came in the request body. And now that we have this, we can simply say this.save. And then this guy returns a promise. So we can note that then DB response goes to this log, the DB response, and this.json, the DB response. And let's make sure that if there's an error when we're writing to the database, we catch it. And for some reason, when I'm using promises, I really like using the arrow functions. I think it's cleaner to read. So that's why I'm doing this. But again, an arrow function is simply just like writing the word function right here and taking away the arrow. The only difference is the syntax and the way that they bind the this keyword, but that's not really in the scope of this video. Let's have a 500 status, and okay. So now we should be ready to go ahead and post some new guys. Let me make sure that my server, my server didn't restart itself. For some reason, when I'm recording, it doesn't restart itself, but when I stop recording, it does, which is interesting to say the least. So let me kill it and start it back up. Is my alarm going off? Alright. So let's go ahead and try to send this employer right here. And look, we got back a response saying that the name Slim Shady with the status new and the ID blah 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 got inserted into the database. So that's actually pretty cool. And the way that we can, if you have MongoDB installed, the way that you can make sure that that happened is by saying, going into your SFR shell, you connect to Mongo, right? And you use your database. db.employers.find. There we are. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and, because I had inserted a couple before, so I'm removing it. Now there's nothing in the database. And I'm going to send this again. And when I come to my database shell, there it is. It's actually inserted. The shell is connected to the database, and I'm seeing that it inserted a new record. So we have a server route now that when we post to it, to this URL, it's actually capable of saving to the database whatever employee data we send. So let's give it another shot. Instead of name Slim Shady, we're going to say name, I don't know, Beats by Trey, and status is new, and let's just say, what's the name of the, right here, we go to the model, contact person, so contact person is Shug Knight, and let's just say that the phone is 555-33-1222-34456. So we try to send that right now, and look, we got back a response that object got added. And in fact, if we go and look in our database, there's that new document right there, added to our MongoDB database. So it really is that simple to create a route where this would be a creation route. It really is that simple to create a server route that allows you to write to a database. What we're going to do next is, let me think, probably create a route that allows you to get a list of all employers. But that's it for this video. I hope that was informative, and I'll see you guys next time.